Not too long ago, DC announced that they had a 10-year plan in the works, and while that still doesn't give me complete faith in them, it got me rethinking how I would do a DC cinematic universe. That's what I'm going to be going over today. This is the DC Cinematic Universe, Phase 1. The first film in the universe would be The Batman. Now, the first 3 films in the universe would mainly focus on 3 different sides of the universe. For example, this film would focus on the street level side, so we wouldn't get like crazy villains or anything, just mob bosses and overall street level threats. The first act of the film would focus on Bruce tackling the Falcone and Maroni mob war, but the main villain of the movie would be the Black Mask. We would also get other villain appearances such as the Penguin and Catwoman. Oswald Cobblepot would be campaigning for mayor throughout the film, and in the end of the movie, he does win the election. Now, I would want not a big bulky Bruce Wayne like Ben Affleck. I would want more of a slim athletic Bruce Wayne that you could see creeping around or something like that. More like Robert Pattinson's version. And I would want a younger Bruce Wayne too. One that's been Batman for a little bit, but isn't totally experienced, and he doesn't fully know what he's doing yet. In the end of the film, or in the mid-credit scene, we would get a tease of Superman, and in the post-credit scene, we would get a tease for the Joker. Next is Superman Man of Steel, and this film would show the cosmic side of the universe. I would want this to be more of a traditional Superman film, so not what Zack Snyder was going for at all. I want it to embody what Superman originally stood for: hope. The main villain of the film would be Lex Luthor, but he would kind of be the one pulling the strings in the first 2 acts, instead of the one that Superman was actually fighting. Superman would be fighting Metallo in Act 1 and 2. Lex Luthor would create Metallo to fight Superman after he learns Superman's weakness. We would get all the traditional Superman stuff like the Daily Planet, the Fortress of Solitude, all that stuff. And in the end, Lex eventually suits up in his Lexo suit and fights Superman one-on-one. We would get a mid-credit scene which shows Clark Kent going to his apartment and finding Bruce Wayne sitting in there waiting for him. Then we would get Wonder Woman, which would mainly focus on the mythological and magical side of the universe. The first act would show Diana fighting in a contest to see which warrior of Themyscira goes to fight Ares, who is wreaking havoc on the human world. Then Act 2 and 3 could pretty much play out how the Wonder Woman movie we already got did, and in the mid-credits scene, Cersei would approach Ares, who is in captivity. Then we get Batman: Dawn of Justice, which is the sequel to the Batman. And it has that subtitle because 1, this sets up the Justice League, and 2, I couldn't think of anything better. So in this movie, Dick Grayson travels to Gotham to find the Batman. At this point in time, no one really knows if Batman's real or not. He's kind of like an urban legend, but Dick believes he is real. So he travels to Gotham, and at the end of the day, some way or another, he gets adopted by Bruce Wayne. And throughout all this, Bruce is investigating different heroes popping up around the world. So if you remember from the last film, Oswald Cobblepot won the election, and now he's the mayor of Gotham. And in this movie, we really see how bad that is for the city and how it made Gotham City such a worse place to live. So then the Joker escapes from Arkham Asylum, and he converts Harleen Quinzel into a psychopath, and he makes her his sidekick. And so Batman then makes Dick Grayson his sidekick, and we get Robin. our first really like good film portrayal of Robin. So Batman and Robin then square off against the Joker and Harley Quinn. In the mid-credit scene, Batman is helping Jim Gordon investigate a crime scene, and we see a CSI then show up, and we find out that is Barry Allen. And he's a huge fan. He's so excited to see that Batman's real, and he tells him, "My name's Barry Allen, and I'm gonna be in Gotham for a while." Next is Aquaman. In this film, we would see Arthur Curry living a life secluded from Atlantis in San Diego. That is until Mera shows up and tells him that his half-brother Orm has taken control of Atlantis after his disappearance and is planning on reclaiming the surface world. This movie could be pretty similar to the Aquaman film we already got, except we wouldn't see Black Manta. We could get like a hint of his origin or something. Maybe like Aquaman doesn't acknowledge him or leaves him to die. And then in the mid-credits scene, we see Batman and Superman approach Aquaman about a team. After that is The Flash, and I'm really mad that we haven't gotten a good Flash movie yet, because The Flash is my favorite DC Comics character and my second favorite superhero overall. So the fact that all we're getting is Ezra Miller's Flash movie makes me really disappointed. I never thought Ezra Miller's Flash was good to begin with, and just the whole upcoming Flash movie makes me really mad because I think it's very stupid to have the first Flash movie be a Flashpoint movie. Your first Flash movie should be like a simple, like Captain Cold or a less simple Reverse Flash film. That should be your first Flash movie. So that's what I'm gonna do for this. I'm gonna have this be like a simple, light-hearted Flash movie in the vein of Ant-Man or something. So if you remember, Barry Allen was in Gotham City in the mid-credits scene of Batman Dawn of Justice. So for the first 10 minutes of this film, he will be in Gotham City. But when he returns, he sees that after he left, just to make it clear, Barry already has his powers at the beginning of the movie. So he's already been the Flash for let's say a year. And he returns, and since the Flash has been gone for a little while, since Barry has been gone working on a case in Gotham, 3 new villains have kind of taken over Central City. Those villains are Captain Cold, Heatwave, and Golden Glider. So this movie is about Barry trying to round them all up and stop these 3 villains. And in Act 3, they all form a team and fight against the Flash. So we wouldn't get Flash's origin in this film, but we would get flashbacks, no pun intended, to his origin. And they would kind of show us, well, actually, I'm gonna save that part. I'm gonna get to that later. But we would get the simple route of having Barry's mom be dead and Barry's dad be in prison. And Barry's love interest in this film would not be Iris West. It would actually be Jessica Cruz. And in the end of the film, Jessica Cruz rejects him, and Barry realizes that he's had feelings for Iris all along. Throughout this film, we do get teases to the Reverse Flash. And in the mid-credit scene, Barry's watching TV, and he sees new superhero team is formed. And that's like a little tease to the Justice League, and then we see Barry smirk and run away. Okay, here's a little after edit. I actually hate that idea for a mid-credit scene. The real mid-credit scene would be a tease to the Reverse Flash. The finale of Phase 1 would be the Justice League. This film would show Batman unite all 5 members of the Justice League, which would be himself, of course, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and the Flash, and they would unite to stop Steppenwolf, who has come to Earth. About halfway through the film, Green Lantern Hal Jordan would come to assist the Justice League, and he would become the 6th member. Green Lantern and the Flash would have the same friendship they do in the comics, so they would be kind of like a comedic relief duo. That's about all I can really say about this film. It's just a team-up film against Steppenwolf, who of course is just a catalyst for Darkseid. But Robin would also appear in the film. He wouldn't be an official member of the Justice League, though. In the mid-credit scene, we see Darkseid and the New Gods react to the Justice League defeating Steppenwolf. That is all for Phase 1. I'm currently working on Phase 2. Actually, that's kind of a lie. I'm working on the video for Phase 2. I already have Phase 2 mapped out, and I have the entire universe mapped out. I am currently working on a revamped version of what if the DCEU was structured like the MCU, and what if the MCU was structured like the DCEU. So look out for that, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.